beautiful people. Welcome back to Sarah's Dosage. Thank you for clicking here today. In today's video, I want to share with you how to calculate an irregular cycle. Now, in my previous video, I talked about irregular periods and cycle lengths. I talked about what an irregular period is. I also talked about their causes, symptoms, and also repercussions if these irregular cycles are just abandoned, like they are just left unattended to, what they are going to do to you in the nearer future. So if you haven't seen that video, just go back to my page and then click on it so you will get a better understanding of what an irregular period is. But in today's video, I want to share with you how to calculate an irregular period. We all know that a normal cycle length is the 28 days period length. But there are also other normal cycle lengths which falls in between the days of 21 and 35 days. And if you find yourself in this type of cycle length, you might probably get confused because the only normal cycle length that people usually know how to count is the regular 28 days. But in today's video, I'm going to show you a practical example of how you're going to calculate 21 days and 35 days cycle length. So let's get right into today's video.
So guys, for the purpose of this video, I'm making use of a 35 days cycle length just to show you a method that you can use to calculate any other cycle length that is irregular or something different from the normal 28 days cycle length. So you can use it to calculate whether you're 21 days or 27 or 33 or 31 days. You can use the same method to calculate it. So there is this fast and easiest method that I recently just discovered, and I think I made use of it in my last 28-day video that I made, the last 28-day cycle length calculation that I made. And how you do this easy method is for you to just get the complete length of your cycle, like to get the total length of your cycle and then divide it by 2. Once you've divided by 2, the number of days it gives you or the number it gives you is the day of your ovulation if you count from the first day of your menstrual period. Once you've gotten your ovulation period, you can as well use that same calculation to get your fertile window, your safe period, and also predict your next day of menstrual period. The most important thing when calculating your cycle length is to get the day of your ovulation. Your ovulation determines a whole lot. It tells you when to get pregnant and when not to get pregnant. So that's the most important thing. Once you've gotten your ovulation day, your fertile day, then you're good to go. So, like I said earlier, I'm making use of a 35 days cycle length, and from this video, I'm creating out my own separate calendar. I'm using the month of September and October because I saw my period in the month of September. Although my period is a 28 days, but I'm going to use this to calculate a 35-day cycle length. So currently I'm done with creating my calendar. The next step I'm going to do now is to do just a rough sketch calculation to divide 35 by 2 so I can get the ovulation day for a 35-day cycle length. After I finished with the calculation, I got 17 and a half. So if you're having a 35-day cycle length, on the 17 and a half day of your cycle length, right from the day of your first period, if you calculate up to 17 and a half day, that day is your ovulation day. Now, after I've got to know what day my ovulation will fall on a 35-day cycle length, I have to do the calculation on my calendar. Now, from the first day of my period, that's the first day of my cycle length for a 35-day cycle. So I have to count from that first day, which is on the 8th of September. I'll count from that day to 35 days. And then on the day that is the 17th or the 17 and a half, that day is supposed to be my ovulation day. And from that day as well, I can predict when are my fertile days, because fertile days are 5 days before the day of your ovulation and 1 day after your ovulation. So once you've gotten the day of your ovulation, which is the 17 and a half day or the 18th day, as you want to put it, you use that to know when is your fertile days. You can just count 5 days backward and 1 day forward. These days, it's it is a total of 7 days, so it's going to give you your fertile days. You can also use that to calculate when you're safe, because from the 8th of September, which is the first day of your period, these are your safe days. And then the other days that you calculate to be your fertile days, those are your fertile windows. And also, after you're done with the calculation of your fertile days and your safe period, you can as well go down to calculate when next you'll be seeing your period. So you just know how to calculate it henceforth. So for my calculations here, I've finished with getting the ovulation day, the fertile window, as well as the safe period, like I said earlier on. Now, the next thing I'm trying to do here is to get when next I'm going to see my period on a 35 days cycle length. And after I finished calculating, it ended on the 12th of October the next month. And when I'm likely to see my period on that month of October for a 35 day cycle length is on the 13th or on the 14th or on the 15th. So if you're having a 35-day cycle length, you are likely to see your ovulation on the 25th or on the 26th. In between these 2 days are when you are likely to get your ovulation. And as well, you can use that to calculate your fertile window to know when you are supposed to have sex frequently if you are trying to conceive. So guys, this is just a rundown. You can use this calculation for any other period, whether it's a 21 days, just use the same process. The easiest way of getting your ovulation is to divide your cycle length by 2. And whatever number it gives you, you use that to calculate from the first day of your period down to that particular number. And then you get your ovulation day.
If you find this video interesting, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also turn on your post notification bell so you get a first hand of every video that I post. Bye bye.